On a warm summer night in her small Virginia home, 11-year-old Georgina lay in bed beneath her favorite Disney princess blanket. The crickets chirped gently outside her window, and a soft breeze drifted in, rustling the curtains. Georgina had just finished watching her all-time favorite movie, Beauty and the Beast, and her little heart was full of wonder. As she clutched her Belle plush doll close to her chest, her brown eyes slowly began to close. Just as the grandfather clock in the hallway chimed midnight, a swirl of golden sparkles filled Georgina's room. The sparkles danced and spun like fireflies before gently wrapping around her. In an instant, the room faded away, replaced by a magical forest filled with glowing trees and the scent of wildflowers. Fireflies drifted like floating lanterns, and the sky was an endless canvas of stars. Georgina opened her eyes, blinking at the dreamscape around her. She stood in the middle of a cobblestone path, surrounded by towering trees whose leaves shimmered in silver hues. The air was cool and comforting, like the perfect summer evening. Her pajamas had transformed into a flowing knee-length dress made of light gold fabric with rose-stitched accents. Her slippers sparkled with each step she took. Suddenly, from behind a patch of blooming lilac bushes, a large figure stepped forward. It was the Beast. Georgina took a step back in surprise.
"Don't be afraid," the Beast said in a smooth, warm voice. "I've been waiting for you." Georgina's eyes widened. "Are you real?" "As real as your dreams let me be," he said with a chuckle. "Come, tonight we go to the Festival of Dreamers at the Crystal Castle."
Georgina's face lit up. A real castle? The Beast smiled and extended a massive paw. She took it without hesitation.
Their journey began through the Dreamwood Forest, where every tree had its own personality. One tree sneezed and dropped petals on them. Another bent its branches to form an archway. Georgina giggled constantly, her joy echoing like bells. The path they followed glowed beneath their feet, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. As they walked, they passed playful creatures. Glowing foxes with butterfly wings, mice in top hats riding dragonflies, and giggling mushrooms who told puns.
"Why don't flowers ever drive?" one mushroom called out. "Because they always take the scenic lane." Georgina laughed so hard she almost fell over.
A few minutes later, they arrived at a shimmering pond. Floating above the water were stepping stones made of crystal. "We'll have to cross here," the Beast said.
"I can do it," Georgina said bravely. She took a step, then another. One of the stones wobbled, and she flailed. The Beast quickly extended his paw to steady her, but as he did, he lost his balance and... splash! He landed right in the pond, sending up a huge splash that soaked both of them. Georgina burst out laughing. "You look like a giant wet puppy." The Beast shook himself like a dog, respraying her with water, which only made her laugh more. Soaked but smiling, they reached the other side and dried off by walking through a sunbeam-shaped meadow. Floating dandelions carried whispers of music in the air. The landscape shifted slowly from forest to sky-glass plains that mirrored the stars above. Ahead, the Crystal Castle appeared, glowing atop a floating hill. Its spires sparkled like diamonds, and rose-shaped lanterns floated around it like guardian fireflies. A wide staircase made of stardust led to the castle gate, where joyful music echoed from within. Inside the castle, the Festival of Dreamers was in full bloom. Creatures from every imagination danced and played fairy fiddlers, singing hedgehogs, and even clouds wearing capes. The ballroom was vast and shimmering, its floor like a mirror reflecting the sky. "Princess Georgina has arrived," announced a courtly mouse in a tuxedo. A cheer rose from the guests. Georgina beamed and curtsied as the Beast gently guided her into the center of the dance floor. As music swelled, he twirled her gently, his large paws surprisingly graceful. Other dancers joined in, creating swirls of light and laughter. Suddenly, a flurry of feathers exploded in the air. Two mischievous pillow sprites had started a feather fight. One of them smacked the Beast with a poofy cushion. He blinked, stunned, then picked up a pillow and joined in. Feathers flew everywhere. Georgina ducked, squealed, and counterattacked with a well-aimed toss. Everyone roared with laughter. After the fun, Georgina and the Beast were invited to the Hall of Whispers, a magical chamber where dreams turned into glowing threads.
There, Queen Celestia, radiant woman in a gown of stars, welcomed them. "You have a dreamer's heart, Georgina," she said. and your courage has lit this realm tonight. Georgina blushed. I was scared at first, but this is the best dream ever.
Queen Celestia placed a silver charm necklace around Georgina's neck. This will help you remember that bravery comes from believing in yourself. Just as she fastened the charm, a shadow passed over the castle. The music stopped. A dark figure loomed outside the gloom. A giant, cloudy creature made of swirling doubts and fears. Its eyes glowed red, and it let out a deep, echoing growl.
Everyone in the ballroom gasped. The beast growled and stepped forward protectively, shielding Georgina. I'll help, Georgina said, gripping the silver charm.
Stay behind me, the beast warned gently.
But Georgina had an idea. She stepped forward bravely and held out her charm. It began to glow. The gloom paused, confused.
Georgina took a deep breath. You're just scared too, aren't you? The gloom's form shimmered. It let out a softer whimper. You can stay if you stop scaring everyone, she said. The gloom blinked, then slowly shrank into a small, puffy cloud.
It floated forward, bashful, and let Georgina pat it gently on its head. Cheers erupted from the castle. The musicians resumed their playing, and the party was more joyful than ever. Queen Celestia approached the beast and Georgina. You've reminded us all that kindness is the greatest power of all. As the stars began to fade, Queen Celestia whispered, It's time to return. Georgina's heart fluttered. Will I remember this?
The beast knelt beside her and handed her a rose-shaped crystal. As long as you believe in magic, this dream will stay with you.
The glowing petals of the forest reappeared, swirling around Georgina. She waved goodbye, her hand tiny in the beast's paw. Will I see you again? She asked.
Every time you dream with courage, he replied with a smile, and with that, she vanished.
Back in her bed, Georgina opened her eyes just as the morning sun peeked over the horizon. She sat up, her Belle doll still in her arms, and looked at her nightstand. There, beside her slippers, was a small rose-shaped crystal. She gasped, clutching it close.
With wide, sparkling eyes, she ran to tell her parents, shouting, You won't believe who I danced with last night!